Delegation of the nation of Hawaii is in Vegas this week for the Global Gaming Expo. G2E 2023 is the largest gathering of global, commercial, and tribal gaming professionals in North America. More than 100 countries and regions are attending, including Hawaii. Fox 5 spoke with a member from the independent and sovereign nation of Hawaii about the importance of attending the event after recently signing a peace treaty with a Native American tribe from California, the Shoshone tribe.
But our entire mission is peace and friendship. And so looking at our treaties, we're really following in the footsteps of our elders, our kupuna, and connecting, We're in the creation story of many of our brothers and sisters tribes here. And so we really want to just learn more about those connections and create intertribal sovereignty between us.
The event is happening until Thursday night at the Venetian Expo and Convention Center. And meantime, back in January, the independent and sovereign nation of Hawaii and a Native American tribe from California, the Shoshone tribe, signed that peace and friendship treaty between the two nations, basically promising a relationship and reaffirming their commitment to aloha, peace, and mutual respect, as well as establishing a framework for ongoing economic development and trade, cultural exchange, and environmental protections.